This is mostly a protest. It is not generally speaking unruly, but fires have been started.
Oh, yeah, raging inferno, and we were told they were mostly peaceful protests. We were told that during the Black Lives Matter Summer of Love riots in 2020, but nothing about Black Lives Matter was peaceful. An organization that's been completely discredited, by the way, and has done nothing to benefit Black lives after cities and neighborhoods were destroyed, all to honor a drug addict named George Floyd. They built statues dedicated to him. They put up murals of him all across the country. They kneeled and prayed for him. Politicians did this. Everyone posted black boxes to honor him on social media. Remember that? The NFL, the NBA, Major League Baseball plastered the words Black Lives Matter all across their fields, the end zone, courts. In the end, the Black Lives Matter Foundation turned out to be a giant money laundering scam where the founders bought gigantic mansions, luxury cars, and took luxury vacations. Xaviaer Durousseau is a former Black Lives Matter activist who saw through all of this and is now a conservative. Xavier, it's great to have you on. Can you take us through what Black Lives Matter was really all about, in your opinion?
Well, Black Lives Matter was ultimately just a left-wing propaganda arm. What we've realized over time is that the left-wing, the entire Democratic Party at this point has just become a Marxist facade. So what they did is they made everybody feel guilty. What they did is they made everybody feel like we had to bend over backwards to solve this invisible issue of racism that's not actually happening on a systemic level in our country anymore. So as these riots were going on, as these different, whether it was a content creator, celebrity, athlete, whoever it was, everybody was being pressured to be a part of this movement. And the second you didn't comply, you were demonized by society and exiled from whatever industry that it was that you were in.
Why do you think that so many people, like smart, seemingly normal people, fell for it? And here we are 6 years post George Floyd. Why are people still falling for it?
The reason people were falling for the lies of BLM is because our country is not racist. And because our country has gone through so much effort to prove that we are not racist, it's gotten to the point where people are so afraid of the idea of being deemed racist that they are going to jump on the bandwagon for anything that seems to be fighting this issue to try to, quote unquote, right the wrongs of the past. And a lot of these people who were really intelligent, once they started to see through it, it was their PR or it was the board members or all these different people that were forcing them to pretend that they were still aligned with this movement. And it takes a lot of guts to be a whistleblower to come out and be like, you know what, I'm not going to do this anymore, especially when you're already a public figure. That's why I'm so grateful for people like Nicki Minaj that is coming out now and exposing so much of the corruption that's happening, whether it's in DC or Hollywood. It is all the same agenda to try to demoralize our society and drag us all to hell.
Is George Floyd, in your opinion, a hero in any way?
Absolutely not. And that was one of the biggest things that finally made me just throw in the towel when it came to BLM back when I was a part of that horrific ghetto movement, is I was looking at someone like George Floyd, and it's unfortunate that he died. Now, people don't want to have an honest conversation about what led to his death, but what we're not going to do is sit here and pretend like this was this great man who deserves to have murals and statues and people getting him tattooed on their arm. It's like, why are you tattooing a drug addict and a woman abuser on your body? Why is this what we are supposed to look up to? And I got really sick and tired as a black man of being told that my community needs to always put the worst and the lowest common denominator up on a pedestal and told this is who we're supposed to admire. Yeah, people would say to me, George Floyd, he could be your brother, he could be your father, he could be you. Absolutely, he could not, because no one in my family nor am I is a drug addict.
I totally agree. And by the way, it is a tragedy that he died. I agree with you there too. George Floyd's autopsy, I mean, he had fentanyl, methamphetamine in his system. There is one story that he allegedly passed this fake $20 bill. He knew the police were coming to talk to him about it, so he took the fentanyl that he had in his pocket. Do you think that Derek Chauvin should be given the opportunity to have a new trial? Because that trial, we know, was in large part political theater, whether or not you like Derek Chauvin or not. I'm not saying I support Derek Chauvin, but I do not think that justice was served that day. What do you think, as somebody who at one point was so close to all of this?
Well, the thing is if we were going to have another trial for Derek Chauvin, I would need to know, first of all, are the courts even going to be honest about what the situation was? Are they finally going to acknowledge that George Floyd couldn't breathe before he was even on the ground? Am I saying that Derek Chauvin was this great cop that we should admire as an American hero and a patriot? No, I'm not saying that either. But I will say I believe that every single American deserves justice, and they deserve a trial that is honest and not pressured purely by public propaganda. And I don't think that Derek Chauvin got a fair shot in the courtroom.
Certainly not in the state of Minnesota. Xaviaer Durousseau, we appreciate you being here tonight. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
Information. Truth is freedom. Is Newsmax. It's real news for real people.